I mean, all you have to do is look at zombie movies for what damage a chainsaw can do, really.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to another Alpha Strike We Play video.
Hi guys.
Joined again by Tarron.
Hey buddy.
Right, so in the last video for physical weapon attacks, we looked at weapons that were actually designed for combat. So your swords, your hatchets, all that sort of thing. But look, there are industrial mechs and things like that, and they have heavy equipment of their own. So backhoes and drills and welding
Forester
stuff.
mechs with chainsaws and things.
And those things, as you would imagine, could probably do a bit of damage if used correctly.
I mean, all you have to do is look at zombie movies for what damage a chainsaw can do, really.
Yeah. So we have those. We'll put the physical weapon attack table back up there. So basically, there's quite a few other little things to go over, but they're all pretty cool.
Yep, they've all got their own listing on that weapon attack table. Some of them do quite a large amount of damage, but some of them have very restricted arcs. Some of them have really sad modifiers for their 2-hit. So choose your weaponry with care. Well, your heavy equipment with care. Like you say, most of these are probably going to end up on things like industrial mechs or specific build mechs. Things that are not necessarily meant for combat, or things that are meant for a gladiatorial type combat. Because running in there with a backhoe or a combine harvester is just hilarious. That's right, you can hang flags off it and everything. Yeah, it's just...
The crowd loves it.
That's insane. Let's go a rock cutter and a wrecking ball. Okay.
So what do we got? Let's go down the list. So backhoe.
A backhoe. You've got a +1 2-hit. It does 6 points of damage.
So flat damage.
Yeah, pretty respectable.
That's much better.
Yeah, most of these have just flat damage. Some of them have a little qualifier there, and we'll let you know what they are, but most of them have just flat damage. And most of them are standard 2-hit locations. So it'll be the full body, all good, and most of them are arm arc. So you're having to mount it to an arm, and it can be the same as the hatchets and the swords. It can be in front or in that arm's arc.
Yeah.
So he's got a +1 and 6 damage. He's affected by triple strength, and he is affected by actuated damage for both 2 hits and damage values. Yeah. Chainsaw.
Okay. So we've got no 2-hit modifier, and it does a flat 5 damage. Uses a standard table. It's mounted in one of the arms, so again you've got the forward and the arm arc to use. You can't use triple strength minor with it because you're not using a lot of strength. Yeah, it's sort of self-powered and that sort of thing. So, but still quite useful. Your actuated damage doesn't affect it, but to actually hit someone it does.
Yeah.
So
it affects the 2-hit modifier, but not the damage value. So you're not halving your damage for damage actuators because it's a chainsaw.
Yeah.
You're not having to push it through things. You just go.
Sounds like the lazy man's weapon, doesn't it?
It's the best.
It just works for me. So the next one's the funny one. I was reading this earlier. So
the combine harvester. I'm pretty sure that's what that means.
That's what it is. It is a combine.
You look in farming videos and things, and you see the rotary blades on the front of a combine harvester. That's what we're talking about. It gets a -2 to hit, which is pretty damn cool.
It's a bit hard to miss when you're like this wide with lots of spitting blades and stuff. So.
Yeah. It does a flat 3 damage, but it has a qualifier here, so which is just nasty. It does 1d6 against conventional infantry. Now let that sink into your head for a second.
Or not, if you want
to. Or not. I'd keep that out of your brain. But yes, you can use this to mow down infantry fairly quickly and effectively by the looks of things.
I did modify, was it in World War II, the mine clearers or whatever they are.
Yeah, the ones with the chain flails.
Yeah, it's essentially the same sort of thing. So it's out front and so everything that's underneath gets a bit of a whack of the chain and it sets off things. But same with this. It's all the clearing of people instead of blades.
Yeah, it's blades. And if you have someone in your group that brings a lot of infantry all the time, what are them in?
Which you should. If you're a clanner, play Hell's Horses. Thank you. That's something that
Yeah, well, it's only against conventional infantry, so...
They like them.
Yeah. It uses standard 2 hits. Its firing arm is the arc. It isn't affected by triple strength. And same as the chainsaw, you are getting your 2 hit modifier, but not your damage modifier because it's rotating blades, basically. Okay, dual saw.
A dual saw.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like a grinder. Is that sort of the thing, or is it like
I'm thinking more. Wait a sec.
See if we can. While you're looking that one up, I'll go on to the next one. The heavy duty pile driver, because you know it sounds so good to say.
It does.
So that gives you a +2 modifier to hit. So it is harder, but as you can imagine, it's probably not designed for combat. It's got a lot of weight behind it and things like that. It does do 9 damage. That's pretty generous. Standard 2-hit table. It is the forward arc. So generally they're probably not arm mounted. You probably have to have them in a torso or something like that because they're so big. It's not affected by triple strength minus. So like the chainsaw, the weapon itself is what does the damage. It's got moving bits or whatever. But it is affected by 2-hit and not damage because, you know.
Yeah.
So the
because
actuated damage.
Because it's rotating blades and things. The pile driver is that you see them when you see guys working on the highways and things. It's breaking rocks.
Yeah.
Although,
so they've got the mining drill under there, so that gives you a bonus to hit a -1. That's pretty good. Does 4 flat damage. Standard table. It is arm mounted, so that's pretty good. Triple strength Miami doesn't. So they're essentially the same. Different equipment obviously, but I don't know. The drill looks. I mean, a bonus to hit with the drill is always handy.
Yeah, damn straight.
Cool. They've got rock cutters, spot welders. So the rock cutter, 5 damage. The spot welder is interesting actually. So if you use it in a physical attack, you're always going to generate 2 points of heat for yourself with using it. I mean, it is hot, so that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But they're both arm mounted. The spot welder isn't they're not affected by triple strength mine, but that makes sense.
Yeah, because the spot welder is more of a heat
thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't say in the rules, I don't think. You could probably start fires in forests. I've never looked that up. I'd have to look at the advanced heat
Quite
rules
possibly
for that, because that could be a good way
Well, I can have a look here in a second because I've just found the melee section of the heavy equipment.
Okay.
So industrial equipment, excuse me.
So you found combine, have you?
Combine?
Yeah.
Yes, combine's here. So another piece of commercial gear focused on agricultural industry. Equipment generally consists of a series of rotating blades used to thresh and harvest tall grain crops.
Yeah. So
Though not intended for combat, construction materials used in the manufacture of combine blades are generally quite sturdy. So usually on the arm of a dedicated agromech or the front of a farming vehicle.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, infantry do not like it for sure.
So the dual saw is a more powerful version of the chainsaw.
Okay.
Typically uses twin high-speed ferrocarbide circular blades or a scissoring set of oblong vibro blades instead of a monoblade chain-fed cutter.
Okay, so it's sort of like a grinder, isn't it, or one of those?
Yeah, so it's kind of like a
drop saw sort of blade.
Well, it's
circular disc.
It's a double saw, so you probably, instead of a chainsaw, which is one rotating thing, you've probably either got 2 circular blades or you've got 2 opposite rotating chains or something like that. So you've got a double thing so that you can get through harder and faster.
Like that. 7 damage.
Yeah, so fortunately, like many industrial tools, the dual saw was never intended as a melee weapon, and using it as such is considered wasteful by regular army. It's not prevented it from appearing on the Solaris circuit as a favoured dueling weapon.
Oh, it would be. I mean, it has the same stats as the chainsaw, it just does extra damage.
Just does extra damage. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. There's a bunch of extra weapons and equipment in the tech manual.
Tech manual, yeah. Definitely worth grabbing that book.
worth having. It's very, very cool. You can see, I mean, they've got nail guns and rivet guns and the mining drill and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, there's heaps of stuff.
But anyway, where were we?
Well, we're now on the Wrecking Ball, which I think is definitely worth having a look. So you do get a penalty to attack with it of +1. It does 8 damage, but here's the thing. If you roll a 2 for your attack, you end up damaging yourself.
Yes.
So whatever damage you're supposed to, so you take, I'll just have a read here. Such self-inflicted strikes half the normal damage and resolve using the front hit location table. And then after that, you have to do a piloting skill check to avoid tangling yourself up and falling over. Hilarious. Now you know why they use them a lot in Solaris, because that's just as cool.
It doesn't matter whether you hit or miss, it's still hilarious. That's entertainment value, people. Dear.
But I mean, even though they're not really designed for combat and things like that, they can, I mean, that's still a fair amount of damage, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the Wrecking Ball and things like that, so it's still pretty good. And
you get them against things in Solaris if you have the funds. If you start like a scenario thing or a stable thing in Solaris and you allow people to build their own mechs or modify mechs, you can do some really cool stuff with various physical attack weapons.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Because I mean, a lot of the periphery worlds and things like that aren't sort of too well off, if they do get sort of mech technology, it's all like, they're not sealed, they're not combat ready and things like that. So they're used for like industrial work.
And they'll have an agricultural mech that they push into a ring and say, look, you figure that out, kill that guy, and it's fine. And you can leave if you do that sort of thing. And there's money if you make it. Yeah. But that's really, really cool.
So there's still quite a lot of physical weapons to pick from in the Total Warfare book, the main book. But if you want to have a look at more, which we'll have a look ourselves.
So that's all.
Manual.
We've done the 3 main ones that are in the Total Warfare book that are actual weapons, and then the heavy equipment. And we'll go through some more that are weapons that are from the other books. So they're a bit more advanced, they're a bit more interesting. But yeah, it's a really, really cool way to get some fun stuff into your game.
Yeah, I think so. Some scenarios, ideas come into play and things like that. If you go to a backward world and all they've got is the industrial ones, you got to see what you can fight off. Yeah, you can make up some cool stuff there.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if you're not trying to stick to canon and stuff and you just tell your friends to build a mech, just go and build a mech and put a hatchet on it and put a hoe on the back or something and just go nuts. Do it. That's cool.
So let's a look at that. So we'll carry on with some other stuff.
Yeah, with some more advanced physical attack weapons this time. Okay?
Okay, thanks for watching.
Bye guys. We're just about to roll dice. Honest. We're doing it. Don't hit us! Ow! Ow! Please no!